Assalamu alaikum, guys. Hope all is well. Today is Monday, the 30th of March 2020, and I don't know what day it is. I've been in isolation for so long that I've stopped counting the days now. So I think today is day 16 or 17. But anyway, you could check up on my other videos and you could confirm what day it is. Basically, I've got a lot to talk about. First of all, I would ask everyone to recite Surah Fatiha for all the people that have died due to this coronavirus. I mean, originally I thought it was all a joke when it all started off, because it was unheard of. And we, being in this part of the world, we think we're exempt from all this. These things will never happen. I mean, like, you know, earthquakes and tornadoes and tsunamis and stuff like that. You know, us guys actually think that, you know, we are safe from it. But the reality is, when you look into it, is that if a tsunami was to happen here, we would not be able to survive it, because England is right on the water level. So a small tsunami, forget these big tsunamis that were going on, a small tsunami would actually erase most of Europe off the world map. Basically, it started hitting home when the news broke out in China and it was spreading. And yeah, if you check my videos, I've actually started mentioning then at that time that, look, these, you know, first it was fake news and then it come to, like, wait a second, mate, we need to start taking this seriously. And it's got here now, and now we're just being told to stay at home and wash our hands. I'm okay with that, because to be honest with you, I don't think this virus is a hoax anymore, because I'm from Luton, Bedfordshire in the UK, and we've lost 3 people that I knew. Well, 2 of them I knew, and one of them was a very close family member to a family. But basically, my family member was very close to them. They were really close family friends. Now, what's happened is, an elderly father was diagnosed with coronavirus after he tested positive, and he was taken into hospital. And a few days later, he basically lost his life. And they basically done a funeral where most of the family members were in isolation, so they couldn't attend the funeral and the burial. And what happened was, but people did, our community still stuck together, and they actually, a few people turned up at the funeral and they done the burial. The following day, his son passed away, and his son was much younger, and he passed away. So guys, this ain't no joke. This is serious. I mean, when you hear that somebody's died in another town, you think, yeah, but you know, when it's coming closer and closer, I mean, these guys are locals, man. They were locals. Now, last night what happened was, last night I got a call and I was told that basically a father and a son were taken into hospital. Again, they tested positive to coronavirus, and these lot have nothing to do with the previous family that I was just talking about. And the father was in there for about 6-7 days, and the son's been in there for a few days. The father actually passed away last night. He passed away, and the son is still in hospital. And this is scary, man. This is frightening, because it's getting too close. Now, understand that we need to stay home, because that's how we're going to break this chain of the virus spreading. Because if we stay out, then it's not gonna go and harm any more people. And if you've got it, it's just gonna self-harm. But for some reason, last night I had a miserable night last night. I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about all the people that have died, all the people that couldn't be there with their loved ones in their final moments. And how would I be able to deal with it if something was to happen to my parents, my uncles, my cousins, or anyone? How would I be able to deal with it? And then obviously when this mind, once your mind opens up to things, you start going down routes where you don't really want to be going. And then I started thinking, and I started doing my little research, and to be honest with you, I understand the government's trying to do what they can, but for some reason, I think there's more to it. I think there's much more to it. I mean, forget the 5G, because I understand that this thing actually exists. This coronavirus exists because people are dying. Now, nobody's going to help them cover up. But, we're not trained medical staff. We are not doctors. We're not scientists. So let me put a little scenario to you. And please, in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are. Now, the coronavirus, is spreading. And they are throwing high figures. UK said that, if they were to keep the death toll below 20,000, they would have done good. 20,000. How many people have these guys lost in wars? And I'm not talking about the World War I and World War II. I'm talking about these wars that they're doing around the world, yeah? I mean, they're in like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, okay, 5,000. You're talking 20,000? It's very scary. Now, I've come across a few messages and videos where people are basically trying to open up a can of worms, and rightly so, because I've looked into it and a lot of it does make sense. Now, there's a few videos going around where in London there's a block of flats and the housing association staff are going around. They're dressed up in their full coronavirus bloody, the moon suits. They wear them suits when they're going to the moon, yeah? And they're basically handing out leaflets telling all the residents that there was a chap in the flat who's passed away due to coronavirus. And obviously everyone's spooked up. Everyone's been told to stay away from each other, yeah? But one lady's actually opened the door and said, no, I've just seen the guy actually just get arrested literally 5 minutes prior to her making the video. And now these two guys are basically trying to stop her from videoing. She's asking them to remove their masks. They're saying, nope, we're not going to remove our masks. And there's so many different videos going out there. Yeah, I've seen a few. Now, basically what's happened is the lady's saying, no, these people that guy has just been arrested. Yeah, the guy's just been arrested literally 5 minutes ago, and he went walking with the police to the car. And you two are giving out leaflets telling us that he's died. So can you please explain, when did he die? Now, them guys, you can tell they're all spooked up. Even though their faces are all covered, you can tell they're shook up. They're like thinking, uh-oh, what the hell? Where did she come from? And that's when all the residents started coming out and asking questions. And those guys had to get out of there. Now, these are the few videos that have been released. Can you imagine how many times they've managed to get away with this? Then it opens up a whole can of worms now. I'm going to start throwing a few questions at you, and you tell me if these questions are genuine questions. Do they make any sense? Now, the government's telling us to stay at home and self-isolate. Don't even visit your loved ones just to control the virus. Yeah? The virus from spreading. Now, all these people that have been taken in, the families are told that they died with coronavirus. How can you and I or anyone else verify that? We have to go with what we are being told. Now, with the funerals, with the people that turn around and do burials, we have to wear masks. We're not even allowed to attend the funerals. And according to Islam, once you're buried, it's done. The people that are cremated, they're gone. There's no way of verifying anything. Once they've been cremated, there is no way. You've only got a piece of paper that tells you for the reason of death. Who writes that? Who issues them? The government. So since last night, I don't know why, my mind keeps going back to, wait a second, are these guys playing us? Are these guys scaremongering us and keeping us at home? And then healthy people are dying. People who are not in the age group that the government's saying, number one. Now they've changed their attitude and saying, oh, all age groups. Yeah. Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, has got the coronavirus. Prince Charles has got the coronavirus. Has the Queen got the coronavirus? And if she has, can she survive this? Because she's over 100 years old. For some reason, I don't believe that Boris Johnson has the coronavirus. And there's so many reasons. And like I said, because I'm sitting at home and I'm thinking and thinking and thinking, and your mind just goes over, you know, everywhere. And for some reason, I just don't believe that Boris Johnson has actually got it, because he didn't cough. And if he's got it, everyone that was around him, because he's been doing a lot of press conferences, he's been mingling in with everyone. How does that mean they've got it? I think it's just the scaremongering. I think what they're doing is they're telling everyone that, look, even us guys have got it and we're not safe. And that would push people to self-isolate and stay in. Because then a lot of people would think, wait a second, if them guys ain't safe and they're the top dogs, how are you and me going to be safe? So I don't know how to put this, but for some reason, I think that what they're doing is anyone that's been taken in, they could be injecting them with something or giving them something and then saying that these guys have died due to coronavirus. I mean, remember, this ain't coming from me. This is just basically a thought, because everything is possible. I mean, you got Donald Trump, the muppet, is handing out pens and stuff like that. And they're telling us to bloody stay away from everyone for 2 meters, and he's actually handing out bloody pens. And since this coronavirus thing's going on, he's actually got more people that stand around him when he's doing his press conferences and stuff. So I don't know what's going on. But the reality is there's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes, a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and we need to verify and check where we can. With the deaths, we can't, because the reason they've told us to stay inside is so when we die, there's no hoo-ha, because if you were to die outside, if people were to be allowed to run their normal business lives, normal lifestyle, you know, going to shopping malls. I know people that just get up in the morning, get dressed, and go to the shopping mall for the whole of the day. So now if people started dropping and dying, then we would be in a situation like the Chinese were. And that's how this stuff actually broke out. Now they're enforcing it, which I understand to an extent, where that, you know, they have to start finding people because some idiots are still going out. I mean, this weekend that went past, people were thinking it's a bloody bank holiday weekend, man. The whole parks are all loaded. People are selling ice creams. You know, it's just normal stuff, man, that you don't even see in the summer. So they do need to turn around and tighten up a little bit on that. But the thing is, though, I just don't know. We have to look on the other side. And for some reason, I think they're just pushing us to isolate. So if we were to die, because you phone 111, it's going to tell you to isolate. They can't do nothing for you. They can't test us. I don't even think they've got the facilities. I mean, how do we know that the test kits that they've got, the test kits they've got, are real? If they don't know nothing about the coronavirus, how can they turn around and confirm that you've got it or you haven't? Because you need to know about something for you to know that you've got it or not. Symptoms, you know, it's a normal flu symptom. Some people have died with that symptoms. And for the government to first turn around and say that, oh, it's only for the elderly, and then bring it down to, oh, it'll be people with serious conditions, and now they're saying anyone can get it. It's a little scary, because that shows that they do not know. And for that reason, people, for that reason alone, should be enough for you to stay at home, because they don't know nothing about it. They're using us as guinea pigs so they can experiment and find out. Now, I've had a lot of messages and stuff, and what they're doing is they're trying to get, you know, us lot to be so scared that we have to take vaccines. And that is also a secret killer. Vaccines actually do more harm. If you read up, all these people that read up on it and do a research, you'll know that the vaccines actually do more harm to you than help you. They'll probably help you mentally, where you think, oh yes, I'm safe from this. But the bottom line is, on the long term, you have to look at the ingredients and the stuff that they put in these vaccines, and who is actually issuing out these vaccines. It's a multi-trillion pounds. I mean, because a pound is worth more than the dollars. So forget the dollars shit, yeah? Basically, this is a multi-billion, trillion pound industry. These people are making money. Now, obviously, you could have your gloves, you can wear your masks, you can do everything, yeah? And you can buy all the toilet paper that you want, yeah? The bottom line is that there are some idiots that are actually still going out, and what they're doing is they're deliberately touching things. I mean, I've mentioned this in my previous video as well, but now I've received videos and a lot of messages regarding this, where people have actually, on the CCTV, have caught a group of guys going around just touching the car handles, touching gate handles, touching door handles, you know, door knobs and stuff like that. So people, you need to be extra safe. No use you protecting your family and protecting yourself, but when you go out and get the bin in, or when you go and touch your gate, or when you go and open your car, just take something with you and wipe it clean. That's if you really need to go out. Now, there's still a lot of clowns that are still doing their business as usual. Some people, the attitude is that everybody else is off, so I'm going to turn around and make as much as I can. You guys need to understand that if you're not going to be healthy, or you're not going to be alive, what good is all that money? What good is everything to you? Us guys work our asses off. We work. And trust me, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to work harder after this little break. I mean, I'm a workaholic. I'm known as a workaholic. I'm always working. I'm always out and about. But I understand that after all this is over, if we survive, I'm going to have to work extra hard. I'm going to have to cover all these hours. And trust me, it is very hard for me to lounge around and do nothing. So, you know, we need to understand what our priority is. A lot of people have got relatives abroad that depend on them, and they've got families here that would depend on them. And if something was to happen, just this reason should be enough for you to stay at home. If something was happen to you, what's going to happen to all those people that depend on you? So you're not just lost yourself, you lost your life, you screwed everyone else over. So for that reason alone, you need to just stay at home. Now, the 5G issue, a lot of people have started, you know, sending text messages out on social media, is going crazy with it. Yes, the 5G thing has been going on for a while. I mean, a lot of people have already exposed this long time ago, like David Icke. I mean, if you guys that don't know, please Google David Icke, YouTube him. He's got hundreds and hundreds of lectures on all sorts of things. And at one time, people were laughing at him. They called him a joker, that he's gone mad. And things that he said in 1991 have come true, you know, some word to word. So basically, you know, when you hear all these conspiracies, when you know, most of these conspiracies are released to either divert you or to make you think that, wait a second, if this was a top-notch secret, why would they allow somebody to release it? Now, that is the mind games that these people are playing with us. With the coronavirus, again, while these guys were busy laughing at China, pointing their fingers, all the media knew more than the government in China, yeah, why didn't they put everything in place? Because it was a matter of time. China had warned, what's his name, the World WHO, yeah? They turned around, the health organizers, they told everyone that, listen, this is going to be a big issue and it's going to spread because it is getting out of control. And they've admitted that. The WHO has admitted that China informed them of this long time ago, in the end of December. Now, why were these muppets busy arranging everything in place? Why were they busy threatening Iran and threatening Pakistan, threatening bloody playing their politics in the world stage? Why didn't they pay more attention and put everything in place to save their citizens, save their economy. Right now, they're more interested in their economy. That's why all the off licenses are still open. Off licenses haven't closed down. Yeah? And that is not something that's very important in life. What do they want? They want us guys to just go at home and drink ourselves to death and depression. A lot of people are already getting depressed. But the thing is, though, you know, we need to understand what's going on. Why is the economy more important than saving lives? Because the reason is because the elderly are no good to them. The elderly people are no good to them because they're going to have to pay retirement. They have to pay for, you know, healthcare and all this stuff for them to look after them. There's disability allowances and stuff like that. These guys do not want to pay them. So, you know, it'll be doing them a favor if all these elderly people just die. Yeah? And I'm going to break it down to you and just tell you how it is. Basically, us citizens of the so-called Great Britain, or not only just us, anywhere in Europe or anywhere in the world, we are in an open prison. Just because you can't see a cell and you can't see bars around you, it does not mean that you're not locked up. We have no privacy because with all these phone gadgets and everything, they're monitoring everything. We cannot do anything of free will. Everything has, you know, you can't even tell off your kids, you know. So basically we're in an open prison and they take their tax before we get paid. So you don't have a choice. And to be honest with you, if we had a choice, nobody would pay it. So, and what they're doing is they want the people that are working and paying their way around and helping them make money, they will stay. Once you have passed that stage and you're close to retirement, they want you gone. You know, you just they want that. They'd rather use that bed for somebody else. They don't take into account that everything that you've done all your life for them. You've paid your taxes. You've been paying everything your way around, yeah? And you've helped mold this country into what it is, yeah? And then when it comes to you getting something back from them, it's time for you to go. And that is the reality. There's nowhere in this world that's safe. And this has become the law of the jungle now, yeah? So the 5G thing, yes, it's happening. They're going to obviously, under the coronavirus, like I said in my previous video, guys, if you have missed anything, any of my videos, you need to watch them because I've covered most of these things but haven't gone into it. Now, what's happened is, with the coronavirus, everybody's spooked up. Nobody's mentioning anything else that's going around the world. Nobody's mentioned that Israel has attacked Gaza again. Because nobody's interested. People are more interested in the coronavirus. And plus, it's an old story now for most of these people. The Palestinians have been suffering for so many years. And, oh, it doesn't matter. Let it happen. We don't need to know. Because we've got better things to worry about. Coronavirus. But why is Israel doing that? When the world is all worried about the coronavirus, yeah? Why is Israel attacking the Palestinians? Now the whole world is under lockdown. How about the Kashmiris? They've been locked down for over 4 or 5 months now. You know? And they don't even have water. They can't even bury their dead ones outside. Here, at least, you know, you can't go, but at least they'll give you a burial service. There, they have to bury their dead inside their houses because of the government lockdown. They won't allow them to go out. And then another thing is, now they have started attacking all the graves and stuff like that. So, them guys, yeah? At one time, there was a hoo-ha about the niqab, the hijab, where you cover your mask. There were people who were disputing, oh no, we don't know who they are, and we feel unsafe. Well, now the whole world is wearing masks, yeah? And the masks look more scarier than the niqab, the hijab, yeah? So basically, everyone should, even the men have to wear niqabs now, because God does wonders. You plan and He plans, and He's the greatest planner. So, the niqab argument's gone out the window. You know, our Boris Johnson called them letterboxes, yeah? I bet he wished, if he's got the coronavirus, he wished that he wore a hijab or a niqab. Do you understand me? and it's just coming back to bite their asses basically. And the thing is though, we need to, you know, like people, a lot of people, even though I went through that process where I was just enjoying the time off and at home, because I never do this, and it does get to you. But the reality is we need to, you know, use this time to spend time with your family, and at the same time do your researches religiously, go into, you know, pray, do your prayers. You know, you've got no excuses now. You know, normally you would say that you're going out, you're working, you ain't got time. It takes 5 minutes, man. It takes 5 minutes, and it just gives you a peace of mind. And you know that if you were to go, which is the only guarantee we have to go one day. It's a matter of time. A lot of people say, oh, it wasn't his time when somebody dies. Oh, it wasn't his time. It was his time. That's why he's gone. Yeah. You can't go when it's not your time. It's as simple as that. It was your time. That's why you're gone. And what we need to do is, at least if nothing else, at least you've died in peace. You've died while you've sent something forth to the hereafter. Because that's what's going to help you. All this stuff's going to stay here. All these cars, all these houses, all these friends, all these clothes, the designer wears and everything. This is all going to stay here. And those people that you're going to leave it for are going to forget you in a matter of moments. If you're lucky, they'll remember you for 40 days. That's if you're lucky. A lot of people don't want to even go to your funeral, and they can't. And this is what they're doing. They're trying to stop us from doing that. The mosques have all stopped, the gatherings. But that doesn't mean you can't pray at home. You can still do your prayers at your house. So guys, basically, the videos are getting a little too long, but the thing is, though, you have to bear in mind that I've got a lot of stuff going through my head. And trust me, if I was to do a video with just basic stuff, you know, it'll take hours and hours. But what I'm going to try and start looking to now is basically going to start getting some, you know, some experts in. I'm going to try getting some experts, locals, that, you know, doctors and solicitors, and, you know, like local experts that know about their stuff, whether they're in religious or scientific or conspiracy theorists. I've emailed David Icke, and I hope he comes back to me and he says yes. That I could do a live interview with him, and then you lot can ask all your questions, any questions. But please, guys, look up on him, and like I say, take what's good and reject what's bad. And he's covered a lot of these things. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes and we don't know about. So yes, they're going to use this time for while we're all inside worried about coronavirus. Nobody's worried about the 5Gs, and what's going to happen is they're going to put up all the 5G boards, and yes, we are going to get radiation from them, and they're going to be effects. And to be honest with you, it depends on your body, how strong your body is that can take it. So we are going to lose a lot of people, so that's going to be another cover up. Again, I just don't understand. If they don't know nothing about the coronavirus, I mean, if they can detect it, how far are they from the cure? I just don't believe that these tests, the testing kits that they've got, know anything about coronavirus. Because if they did, they would have known what can stop it or what can narrow down the system. They can't just expect us to just stay at home and wash our hands. Are we allowed to have a bath, or should we just keep washing our hands? So, guys, I hope we can all take something from this. Please, like, share as much as you can. Comment below. Please leave some comments, guys. You don't leave no comments, and you have to subscribe. You have to subscribe, guys. You have to subscribe, because we're growing, and you don't want to be left behind. And what else? We just remember all the people that have died, and may Allah give sabr to their families, and may Allah protect us all. Protect us all. It doesn't matter what color you are, which country you're from, and what your belief system is. We just have to pray that, you know, we're all safe, we stay safe. And yeah, so guys, I'll speak to you guys very soon, inshallah. And remember me and my family in your du'as. Over and out. Allah Hafiz.